Disclaimer: this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It does not constitute financial advice. We are not registered financial advisors. Hello everyone, time for a Monday MSTR MSTE weekly update. So the first thing that we will go through is what did Strategy do last week. So they did buy some Bitcoin. They bought let's just go to the purchases here. They bought a modest 520 Bitcoin for 35 million. How did they do that? You click on this, you will get the form, the 8Ks. So it's basically all MSTR shares. They actually sold 335 million worth of MSTR shares. So 300 million out of that 335 actually went to boost their USD cash reserve. So last week it was 1.1, now it's at 1.4. So most of it went to the cash reserve, which means it is going to be dilutive in terms of Bitcoin per share, right? It was 219, now it's 218, but they did buy a little bit of Bitcoin with that other 35 million, right? So now their stack is now a 847,361, still in first place by far. If we go on Bitcoin treasuries, right, they're still by far number one. Even Marathon bought a little bit more, and Strive, which I think is Strategy's number one friendly competitor, did pretty good. They bought, I believe, 800 or something. I think it was 19,000 something, and now it's at 19,864. So they're still buying Bitcoin even during this crazy bear market or winter. This number keeps going up. BTC held by public companies keeps going up. So if we look at the Bitcoin per share, of course, this was slightly dilutive because most of it went to cash. Why are they doing that? Why are they trying to build up their cash reserve? Well, if you listen to the quarterly results, they're doing it to try to get a better credit rating and try to calm everyone down when it comes to Stretch, which is still way under $100 now. Up $1 right now. By the way, I'm filming this right now at about 12:30 my time, which is 1:30 EST. I'm pretty sure they're going to raise the dividend to try to drive demand back to Stretch. Now, they also have SEDA as a competitor that's paying daily dividends. So I think a lot of capital left Stretch to go into SEDA. But either way, I'm really not worried about it. So I want to explain, let me just, the sats per share. So if we look at the sats per share, obviously it went down from last week because most of it went to the cash reserve. It was 219. 359 to 218,045. So you might be saying, yeah, well, that's dilutive. I agree, it is. It is dilutive for Bitcoin per share, but it's completely normal. Obviously, we have to think of the future. They're trying to beef up their cash reserve to try to get a better credit rating for people to go to invest more in Stretch so they could buy Bitcoin, right? You got to think long term. They're trying to get included in the S&P 500. If I'm not mistaken, I think they want 12 to 18 months. I think 18 to 24 months of dividend cash reserve. So right now they're at, hopefully my face is not blocking this, they have 9.8 months of cash. So this 1.4 billion could take care of 9.8 months of dividends for all their preferreds, right? You see that the dividend obligations are 1.7 billion a year, so they have 9.8 months where they could just use this cash reserve to pay all the dividends. So to me, they're trying to beef it up. I guess they're going to keep building it up so that it's 12 or 18 to 24 months. And long term, I think it's a good thing for the company. So volatility is still really high. Bitcoin price is still really, really low. And MSTR is deeply, deeply undervalued. Lots and lots and lots of FUD and negative headlines out there, which gets me excited because that is always the best time to invest in something. So, of course, if you don't believe in Bitcoin, you're not going to ever touch this, right? And if you don't believe in what MSTR is trying to do or understand it, you're never going to touch MSTR, MST as well. But why in my thumbnail did I write 17% discount? I think I've been saying it all along that MSTR is, to me, I look at it like a split share fund, the class A share of a split share fund. All the leverage is there. And then you have the preferred, which of course the most popular is Stretch, acting like a preferred to a split fund, right? So obviously there's going to be a lot more volatility. So let's do some grade 3 math together, or grade 2 math, or whatever it is, maybe even grade 1, on why I feel this is completely crazy, the undervaluedness, that's not a word, the why MSTR is so undervalued right now and people are just losing their minds, are so dumb. So let's look at it together, okay, guys? The value of the Bitcoin that they have, okay, just the Bitcoin that they have at the current price of 64.4, which again, maybe when you're watching this video, the math is going to be a little bit different. I'm filming this when the market's still open, but right now it's $54.57 billion of Bitcoin. They have 1.4 billion in cash, and they have 6.75 billion in debt that they have to pay back. Right? If you click on the debt, they have tranches of debt that they have to start paying back or converting into MSTR shares starting in 2028. So this is 2 years from now is the earliest one. Then there's 2029, 2030, 31, 32. But I have a strong suspicion that in parallel of building their cash reserve, they're also, like they've done, they had 8 point something, now it's 6.7 because they bought back $1 billion. I think they're going to try to get rid of this debt as soon as possible. So again, going back to the calculation, okay? They have, what do they have on their balance sheet? They have 54.54 billion worth of Bitcoin, okay? Let's remove the debt. Let's actually minus the debt from the value of their Bitcoin reserve. So minus 6.75 of their debt, okay? That leaves them with, let's say this is, they paid off their debt basically, 47.79 billion. Now, we could count the 1.4 billion as cash. I won't even count that in their balance sheet. That takes care of 9.8 months of their dividends for the preferreds. They have 15.4 billion worth of preferreds. But remember that it's not like the debt. They don't have to pay back the preferreds. These are perpetual preferreds. It's not debt. They're not paying, they don't have to pay back that 15.4 billion. All they have to do is support the annual dividends, which is 1.7 billion, which they have almost a year's worth, 9.8. So let's not even count the USD cash reserve. That's going to pay for up to 9.8 months of dividend coverage. Okay, I'm not even adding the cash to this number. Here's where it gets insane. So you're with me? So just to summarize, because I really want to make sure this is really grade 3 stuff here. The amount of Bitcoin that they have is 54.55 billion. They have 1.4 billion of cash. I'm not even counting that. They have 6.75 of debt that they have to repay starting in 2028. I removed that from the balance sheet. I removed it. So now we're at 47.79 billion. The entire value of the company right now, the entire value of the market cap of the company right now is 39.3 billion based on a price of 109.53. This is really basic math, guys, okay? 39.31. You could clearly see an insane disconnect of reality, right? There's so much FUD right now. This really reminds me of the split share funds. It reminds me when a split share fund is trading at a big discount. ENS is trading at a 10% discount right now. LBS is still trading at a discount, right? So to me, it's the same thing. It's kind of the same thing. The whole company is being valued at 39.31, when even if you take out the debt, just the Bitcoin, the value of the Bitcoin that they have is 47.79 billion. Are you starting to see how insane and how retarded this is getting here? So why do I say it's a 17% discount? Well, it's very, very easy. If you do 39.31 divided by 47.79 minus 1 times 100, the exact same calculation that I do every single Friday to calculate the discount or the premium for a split fund, you have a 17.74% discount. So to me, obviously, people are not really understanding reality. This is a perfect, great time to keep buying more MSTR shares. If you're into MSTR, I'm just going to keep going. So I just wanted to explain why I put 17% discount. Do you agree or disagree with me? It's just math. It's just numbers. I don't think anyone could ever disagree. But let me know in the comment section below, am I crazy to say that MSTR is extremely undervalued and underappreciated right now. If we even just calculate the Bitcoin that they have on their balance sheet, that's worth more than the entire market cap of their company. So obviously people are not even considering the ability that they have. They're not even considering the little AI business that they had before they even started this. Remember, before they started this whole Bitcoin thing or buying Bitcoin, it was about $10 to $15 a share just with their AI business, which a lot of people say it's nothing now. Meanwhile, it's still profitable business, I believe. Right? They still have 1,500 employees. Anyway, I don't want to seem like I'm trying to defend MSTR. I'm just trying to defend math and reality, guys. That's all I'm trying to do. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep buying it. I didn't purchase it today yet because it's still early. I think that maybe tomorrow, I could be wrong, but I'm definitely going to buy another 2K of MSTE. So I didn't buy any today, Monday, but it's going to happen. So I still have right now 42.2 at 7.77. So I'm just going to keep going, keep averaging down, keep averaging down. To me, this is a phenomenal time. It's completely mispriced, completely undervalued, just like split funds are when there's a lot of FUD, right? So remember LBS, guys? Remember LBS when it was at $3? In 2020, remember when it was at three, even less than that, $2 during the financial crash? Can you imagine? I remember when LBS was three something because I had bought some at that time and I did really well with it. Obviously now it's doing so well that it's giving bonus shares after bonus shares after bonus shares, but guess what? It's still at a discount, right? It's at 14.94 or something like that, when the net asset value, you could check it out, is higher. So and he just wanted to share that with me. I'm really looking at it like a split share fund personally. So in terms of total returns, if we do MSTR versus MSTE versus MSTY versus MSTYs, right? The MSTY from Harvest, the MSTY from Yield Max. I just decided to put it in there. Versus Bitcoin, you actually see that the total returns here, obviously MSTE with the leverage is in last place, minus 67%, but MSTR is minus 67, MSTR is minus 57, so obviously fairly close. Obviously there's more of a gap now because it's been such a long decline, but you see both MSTYs are actually beating MSTR. That's 100% normal because those covered calls are cushioning the MSTR decline. And then, of course, you have IBIT or Bitcoin itself, which is down much less because MSTR is obviously leveraged to Bitcoin. You see the amplification. Hopefully my face is not blocking, but the amplification is 41%, a pretty high amplification. And you see, by the way, the leverage is only 10%. They really don't have a lot of debt, and I'm sure they're eventually gonna pay down, get rid of it, build the cash reserve. This is gonna be dilutive and a little bit painful for the MSTR shareholders short term, but once that's gone, obviously it's gonna pick up back. And if the 4-year cycle is correct, Bitcoin should be bottomed, if that's correct, by October. And by the way, I'm gonna have Joe Consorti on the channel this week. I'm going to interview him. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, another Bitcoin expert. I'm going to ask him all kinds of stuff. I'm just trying to learn more and more about it. So I had Forrest on where we discussed a little bit more the technicals and the network, but Joe seems to be really a macro expert, and I want to ask him about the 4-year cycle, the 200 moving whatever average, the power law. I just want to ask him about all these things and learn more and more about this. But in case you there's quite a few good videos that have come out in the last week. If you want more of a deep dive on MSTR, one of the guys, Adam Livingston, does a really good job of debunking a lot of the nonsense. He uses pure math to debunk a lot. So there's this one, MSTR dilution, MSTR bears are wrong, MSTR crash panic. So I'll put the links to these videos below if you want to do a little bit more research. But I mean, on MSTR, if you want even more of a detailed breakdown than I just did using grade 3 math, he goes really deep. Another thing that's interesting, especially with this one, the dilution, he says that Bitcoin per share is not actually an accurate stat. It should be another stat that he calls CEBE, Common Equity Bitcoin exposure. So for that one, he explains his methodology, and he basically is saying that the MNAV is actually much higher than this, than 110, and that's why they continue to issue MSTR shares, right? So you could check that out, and I also recommend you check one of Saylor's latest interviews with Natalie Burnell. What I really liked about this Q&A, especially the second half, guys, is that he goes over in detail about the strategy that strategy has on a week-to-week basis to actually decide, okay, what are we doing this week? Are we buying Bitcoin? How much Bitcoin do we buy? When do we buy? Do we refill the cash reserve? What's better? So he goes a little bit deeper into the mindset and how they're using AI tools and their AI background, AI analytics to make these decisions every single day to make the possible best decisions. I found it was really a cool explanation. So you could check that out if you're interested. I'll put all the links to these 4 videos below. And if ever you haven't seen this video, MST cratering, am I worried? What am I worried? What would worry me about MSTE? What would worry me about MSTR? And what would worry me about Bitcoin? Am I worried? You could check that out as well. I did that video last week. So I think I pretty much got everything. Now, in terms of MSTE, the dividend will absolutely be reduced by quite a bit. It has to. It makes no sense leaving it at 15 cents a month at when the price is 232, because 15 cents times 12 at 180 divided by 232, the yield is 77%. It's impossible for them to generate 77% yield, guys, unless maybe they're doing at the money calls on the whole portfolio, and I don't want Harvest to do that. So obviously it's going to be reduced. My guess is that they'll reduce it at least to 10 cents, maybe even a little bit more, because even at 10 cents, which is 120 divided by 232, it's still 51% yield. It's still a little bit high. I'm more comfortable in the mid 40s to late 40s. So it's possible they'll cut it to 8 or 9 cents as well, guys. I'm not sure what they're going to do, but I trust Harvest to do it appropriately, not to pay out more than they could give. And I don't personally want them to start writing more and more cover calls, because if there's a bounce, when there's a bounce, we're going to miss out on a lot of the upside. And for all the people, again, watch this video for the fears and why I don't care about, and I'm not fearful of MSTE and reverse split and this and that. You could watch it, but basically for the fears of them shutting down the MSTE ETF, that's the funniest and most the fear that I've seen that absolutely makes no sense, because it's still their most popular single stock enhanced in high income shares at 354 million. Why the hell would they shut it down when it's at 354 million, guys? It makes absolutely no sense. The only reason an ETF will shut down typically is because there's low AUM, typically under 10 million for a sustained amount of time. So this is 354 million. There is zero chance that they will shut it down, guys. Don't worry about that. I mean, that's just ridiculous, whoever's telling you that. Is it possible that they reverse split? It is possible. If I think these are listed on the CBOE. So if the CBOE or whatever exchange these are listed on has some sort of minimum requirement, maybe there will be. But usually the minimum requirement, I believe, is $1. So there's still no danger. But again, even if they do a reverse split, it won't make a difference whatsoever. I explained this to death. I cannot do it anymore. If you don't understand that $4 or $5 bills is the same thing as a $20 bill, I can't really help you anymore, right? You're going to have to search mentally and try to figure out why you're scared of a reverse split. A split is the same thing. Splits and reverse splits is just artificially manipulating the stock price where the investment value stays the same. So that's 100% FUD nonsense. They could reverse split tomorrow. They could reverse split today. The value will be the same in your account, guys. It doesn't make a difference. But in terms of the FUD of them shutting down MSTE, it's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. And let's even say that they do, your investment doesn't go to zero. This is not a company or a penny stock that goes bankrupt. You'll just get the net asset value returned to you. I know, because I've been through I owned a closed-end fund a long time ago that shut down, and a day or two after it shut down, I just got whatever the net asset value was. I just got that in cash. So either way, but yeah, I mean, you could run the math yourself, guys. This is a historic buying opportunity, in my opinion. I'm assuming for Bitcoin and MSTR, of course, because it's related. Will it go down more? I don't know. I don't really care. I've never been so bullish on it. I mean, the things that are happening outside of just the price. This is why I want to talk to Joe about it. With all these public companies adding more legislation, there's all kinds of new ETFs coming out, right? BlackRock just launched BitA, their own covered call ETF for IBIT. So I think that the for Bitcoin going to zero, the cat's out of the bag. It's just not going to happen. But let me know what you think. Do you think MSTR is undervalued? I mean, to me, it's just glaring at me, right? The whole company. I mean, if I was the U.S. government, by the way, and they passed their Bitcoin bill, why not just buy out MSTR, take a big stake in MSTR? That's what I would be thinking and I would be doing, right? It's just a super easy way. If just they do a 40 or 50% purchase, or 49%, take a 49% stake in MSTR, they'll literally have 400 something thousand Bitcoin. I mean, these guys are just keep buying and buying. It's insane. I love that they keep buying. If it was up to me, I would even go more aggressive. I wouldn't mind seeing more dilution to accumulate more Bitcoin at this time. But again, I recommend you watch this. They're trying to do it in the most efficient way. If it was up to me, because of these prices, just go, go, go. I would love for them to buy a crap load of Bitcoin, because eventually it'll go back up, right? So we'll just have to see when it does that. But anyway, that's your weekly update. Pretty long weekly update, guys. But put those videos in the video description below. Don't just buy MSTE because I'm buying it. Don't just buy it because you're attracted to the yield. The yield is going to be cut. It has to. It's still going to be very, very, very high yield, even when it gets cut at this price, right? So I'm going to keep going. I didn't do my weekly purchase yet, but it will happen soon. So we'll do this again Monday. Take care, everyone. Stay safe, stay passive, stay honorable, and see you next time.